Originally, I used to get all my wreaths from probably one of the best wreath makers in Canada, and I dealt with his father. Now I deal with his son, and I send them up to some of my friends in New Jersey. But down here in North Carolina, we get almost all North Carolina Fraser fir wreaths because they hold up better. We also take a lot of protection. We put them over in a shade house, and we'll mist them a little bit, but basically, I can tell you a story. We still have our wreath up from last year. My wife has it in the closet because she loves the smell of it. It's totally brown. It's in the closet. It smells beautiful. As long as you don't touch it, it won't shed. And as soon as the new ones come in, she'll put a new one up, and that'll go on the door. We sell garland here, but we sell not as much. Up north, we sold a lot more white pine, but it doesn't quite hold up as well as the western cedar or the Fraser fir or even the boxwood. But boxwood can dry out a little. But we found that the western cedar is really the best. It holds up long. It kind of drapes down really nice. And it's a little more expensive because you're bringing it a long way. I mean, it's coming all the way from Oregon and Washington State. So it's costly to truck things like that. Yeah. But we've had real good success with it. My wife hangs that on our railing at home.
You do some decorations, like with the pine cones. How does that
Oh
go?
yeah, well, that's another thing. Pine cones I've already started. I've been watching TV. The first thing I did was paint the pine cones.
How do you do that?
All right, what I do is I paint a box, all around the box, the bottom of the box, throw about 30 pine cones into the box, shake them, and then I get white tips. Then I drop them on a table and let them dry. It doesn't take long with these paints today. And then comes the fun part. I cluster them, 3 in a cluster. I do the 2 ends, one, 2. Then I take the middle one and I go around with the excess wire and cluster it and make a cluster of 3. That's our basic decoration. With a berry in the middle, put it on the wreath with a bow. Sometimes we'll put clusters of balls or balls in it. So the fancier it is, the more it is, obviously, and the more time it takes to decorate. But our basic thing is 3 clusters of cones with a berry and a beautiful bow.
Nice.
And Mrs. B is also in the process of making a lot of extra bows. We buy some, but we also make a lot of them. Probably in the course of her life, in the 50-something years we've been married, Ronnie's probably made 50 to 70,000 bows. And I've made clusters 3 times of that because there's 3 clusters on a wreath. So somewhere maybe 250,000 pine cones I've clustered.
And the white tips is the most popular?
Yeah, because it's more natural. Some people like the natural, so we'll cluster just plain cones. But the white tip, and then sometimes we used to do some silver and gold.